Welcome to vIDLIFT. Tonight we're going to have a good time. I've been on the live stream for the last hour with these knuckleheads. I don't know if I can do another hour with them. But anyway, we're going to review a 1-minute clip submitted by two individuals, two YouTube channels. And we're going to talk about things that we like, ideas for your next video, and maybe some things that you might try out next time. I've got the 4 horsemen with me. Nope. I've got 3 horsemen with me, and I guess I'm the 4th one. And we're going to show the 1-minute clip. Going to talk about it, and then we'll show it again, and we'll have a round table. If you would like to come on the show, nope, I don't want you to come on the show. If you'd like to submit a video, go ahead and submit that video to vidliftinfo@gmail.com. And let us know what the link is to the video and what 1-minute segment you would like us to look at. And we'd be happy to do that. And it is a really, really great opportunity for you as a creator to get your video out that other people can see it. And also, so you can learn about video creation and things that you may or may not want to do next time. Who knows? But the awesome thing about vIDLIFT is the chat, and everybody's over there. They're watching the same video we're watching, and they have an opportunity to look at it as well and decide if that's something they'd like to try. And there's a lot of good information out there in the chat. So come on, we're going to go ahead and introduce these 3 other horsemen and get this show started. Tonight we'll be watching Day 1 Adventure and review RView of America. We're going to watch both those. So let me get these guys up here. Hold on. Let's figure out if I know how to do this. First off, I guess we got this guy.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Donovan,
Absolutely.
RV on the wayside. What do I have to say? This is better than my channel. If I were you, I would just subscribe to vIDLIFT and don't worry about me, because this is the place you want to be. If you're going to learn something, I mean, you can't learn anything from me except how not to do a YouTube channel. Isn't that right, Steve? I don't know. But there you go.
No.
Yeah, it's right. Smile. I'm not on candy camera. Okay.
Yes, you're not.
That was it. That's all the intro.
Oh, that's it? That's all you got to say?
I'm terrible at this. I told you.
All right. How about Dave? How about Dave from Texas Family Camping? I know he's got a whole lot to say.
Hey, y'all. My name is Dave from Texas Family Camping. I live in a house that has an RV out front. Oh, wait. That's not interesting. I make videos about camping, all aspects of camping, especially things to do with RVs. That's exciting. But right now we're camping out in this house that's slowly developing an echo because it's getting closer to being empty, because we're getting closer to hitting the road full time. That's so exciting. We're pretty excited about that. So we look forward to what that brings to us. But I am happy to be here with the other horsemen. I guess is this a Halloween thing we're doing? The 4 horsemen. All right. Well, thanks for bringing me up, Steve. I think we got one more gentleman that needs to be introduced.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got one more horsehead. And I'll tell you what, last night was his monetization live stream, and boy, I tell you, it was a hoot. We had a good time, and I'm just lucky or happy he didn't get locked up, because he was out doing some terrible things. And if you missed that live stream, you got to get on over there and check it out, because he was this close to going to jail for sure. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Scott from McGuire's Own Tires.
Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Do you know the difference between Steve Turtle and Scott from McGuire's Own Tires? I was this close to going to jail. Man, we had such a good time. Steve was there. Donovan was there. Dave was there. We all had so much fun. And I know lots of you guys were there too. Oh, Dave didn't have fun? Is that what you're saying? Yes, rock star for sure. I appreciate so many of you celebrating with us last night. And I like to travel with my family. And when we're not traveling, we like to have live streams here back at our home base. And that's quite honestly, just another opportunity for our family to sit and be together for an extra hour every week. And it's just so much fun getting to hang out with y'all. And I'm glad to be called a horse head for once in my life. And I'm proud to be here on the screen with these other horse parts.
Well, I
That's
guess that's the introduction to everybody. We've got the 4 horse heads up here now. And we really do appreciate everybody stopping by and spending a little bit of time over here at vIDLIFT. Hopefully we can talk about some things that are important to your video creation, and maybe we'll learn a few things. The biggest thing is that we want to lift each other up and help each other learn more about video creation and things like that. So like I said, we're going to talk about day 1 adventures video, and I guess we'll go ahead and play that video, because if we don't play it, we can't talk about it.
Just had my first fall. All right, I'm gonna take it to the track now. The track right over there. So we're gonna try the track. The ideal is the track is gonna be a little bit more sturdy than riding in the grass with all the bumps and everything. So let's see.
All right, Donovan, you want to start us off? What do you think?
Let's see. Okay, that music was groovy. I'm sorry. I can't stop dancing to it. Every time I've watched it, I start doing this. And I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to be focused on the video. It's too good of music. I loved it. And perfect for what we were doing, right? The flip, falling over and reversing it back up. Fantastic. I mean, I was like, oh, that's fun. When Damon put that little subscribe thing up, I would have probably moved that ahead and put it where the longer first roll was, as he was going nice and slow, learning like he's doing the track for the first time. Because that segment was just a tiny bit longer, and that would have broke that one up because everything else was moving pretty quick. So that was my thought on that. Now, audio-wise, his voice was soft, but it wasn't too soft. I mean, I thought the music could have been turned down a tiny bit maybe, and that way we could have heard him more clearly, but all that did was make me go like this. And that was fine. I just got a little closer. And that, of course, that made me focus on the video a little more, which is an aspect I didn't think about having. If you talk just enough where it's a little hard to hear, are people going to tune in or are they going to tune out? Well, I tuned in on that one. And that's because the video movement, the pace was great. What do you think, David?
I thought that this video looked amazing. He does a great job with the song, especially it's perfect for the type of video that it is. And one of the things that really stuck out to me that I enjoyed was the coloring. Now, I was trying to see if this was possibly coming straight out of the camera, which it might have been. I could tell he was using a GoPro. But if not, it does look like he may have been doing some color grading. And the colors really popped out. It just kind of reach out and grab you and bring you in. I thought it was excellent. I guess one of the things I would have probably changed is working in more verbal stuff, maybe like a 10-second segment of B-roll and then some more talking about it, 10-second, and then more talking about it. And it doesn't always have to be your face talking. It could literally be all the B-roll going over you. But I think I would have got a little bit more talking about what was going on. I would guess you probably could have trimmed a minute out of this video shorten it down and just use more of this footage throughout. That's just a guess. Probably what I would have done a little different. But I am excited though. You got the one wheel. You're not an official YouTuber until you have the one wheel, right? All right. What do y'all think?
I agree on the music. Well, that was a great music choice. And the whole thing keeps moving. Even those longer segments, it kept moving. I really like your pacing on this one. And like Donovan, I think one of the coolest things was you fell and you took that opportunity to reverse it to get back up and you put the text on the screen. That was really neat. The text on the screen, though, I think one thing you might could look at, it's a sneaky technique, but people will engage more. You will force them to engage if there's text on the screen. Sometimes I've been stuck with footage where I can't get the audio pushed up as far as I need it to be. So I just leave it alone and I put text on the screen. Between reading along and hearing a little bit of voice, your brain pieces it together. And now the viewer has to be actively engaged. So that's a trick you could use. I felt like the music was a little loud. For me, I would prefer to bring the music down a little bit, bring the voice up a little bit, but that could have been your sneaky trick. You forced us to pay attention. And if that's the trick, then go the next step and put the text on the screen. And it's not every word, but key phrases here and there and force us to read. And now we're engaged that much further. It's just a sneaky trick you can put in. I will say the cuts when you were on the track, I thought were very hip, very cool. I liked how fast they were. I liked how we zoomed in and zoomed out. That's not the right word. I always get those words wrong. I like how you were farther in and farther out. I like this thing, like, I don't know what that's called, but, it's probably just me. I say this almost every week. I get motion sick so easily. I was watching that. I had to look away because I was watching it like this because I had to come into here. But when that started, I was like, oh, that's a neat effect. Well, then I couldn't keep watching that cool effect. There were, I think, too many of them. So maybe do a couple of them and then move on. Don't overuse that effect. And again, that could just be me. I just get motion sick so easily that would have caused me to stop watching the video. But I didn't stop watching because everything else was so cool. And I agree with Dave that maybe a little bit of talking in that section. Just a little bit of explanation of, well, here's actually what caused me to fall down right here. And just a little bit of talking would have broken that up. And it may not be the same on your videos, but the analytics on mine, whenever I see the dip in the viewer engagement, it's because the talking stopped. We stopped telling the story, and it's a little music chunk. People don't, on my channel at least, they don't want to see that. So they come back in and the viewers, the analytics, it goes up on the graph when we start talking again. So I agree with what's already been said. But again, I think this is a hit video. The music, I mean, it really sets the tone. It's a cool one. You did a good job. All right, Steve.
Very good points. I think everybody has shared well. Good information. I love the music. I thought the music was great. I thought it fit for the video. I like the idea of you exit right and then you come back in on the screen on the left, because it sort of makes you go, what? Right after his fall, he went this way and then he came back in on this side. I thought that was a good thing. And the whole don't get up or don't give up, get back up, I thought that was pretty cool too. And it was a very good point that Scott made. That is B-roll in itself. Text, sounds, video, all of those things change what's going on the screen and can be used as B-roll to break things up. So, if you have a long piece of monologue that you have, you can throw in some sounds and some text, and that'll break that up too. Also, if you zoom in or zoom out, so it changes things just a little bit. And it goes back to the whole every 5 seconds, let's change something so that everybody's not just looking at that monotone narration. But I watched the whole video. I loved it. I thought it was really good. It sort of held me. And the whole jitter thing that Scott was talking about, he must be a little bit older than me. It doesn't bother me. Should we watch it again and let everybody else see what they think? All right, let's watch it again.
just had my first fall. All right, I'm gonna take it to the track now. The track right over there. So we're gonna try the track. The ideal is the track is gonna be a little bit more sturdy than riding in the grass with all the bumps and everything. So let's see.
All right, so I always like to jump in right when we get to the round table. Sorry. If you guys need to tell me to shut up, I will.
No, go ahead, Donovan. Start it off.
So, so drone footage, fantastic, right? Love the follow, love those shots. That's fun way to use your drone, right? Small little cuts like that. That keeps it fresh. New perspective. Loved it. I would have liked a couple more shots of the one wheel real close as you go by, maybe even a slow motion shot, so I can actually see it rolling along. Because some people, this is the first time they've seen it. Like David, I'm sure he's never seen one of these. So I really think so. I just thought they would be kind of neat to do a couple more of those. You had one that was kind of close, but I'd like to see one where it just kind of followed along. Of course, that's hard for you to film unless you use your drone. And then the other thing is, now a lot of times I say you shouldn't keep repeating yourself. He said track 4 times in like 10 seconds. But you know what? It was repetitive, but he did it in a different tone, almost to the point where I thought he was making a joke. Oh, I'm going to go over to this track. Yeah, the track. Over here at the track. You know, and I almost thought it was a little touch of light comedy, but maybe you were being repetitive. But anyway, I thought it was funny, and I've laughed twice when you do the track thing, so I was up for it. Anybody else?
Well, there was a 10-second narration when we moved to the track. I thought it was a little long. I think somewhere in there, maybe some B-roll, maybe what Donovan said, maybe a shot of the one wheel close up, something like that would have helped that out a little bit. It really did. I mean, it felt like it moved along pretty good, but it was a 10-minute segment of, just talking about we're moving over to the track. We're going to do that. But that was the only place in the whole video that it really slowed down a little bit. But I think I'd have broke that up with a little bit of B-roll. And I love the jitter effect and that whole drone. And there were so many different angles. It almost made you feel like, you weren't seeing him on the track all the time because it was different angles. I thought he did a good job with that. I thought it was awesome video.
Did you notice, though, in that segment that you were just talking about, Steve, he said, let's go to the track. Bam, we're at the track. So many videos we've watched, they feel like just because it occurred, it has to be in the video. And
Right.
so some people would have shown, okay, I'm picking up my one wheel. I'm walking to the track now. I'm putting it down. And then they would start talking again. Damon just said, hey, we're going to the track. Well, actually, he said, we're going to the track. There's the track. The track's over there. We're going to the track. But then he was at the track. I mean, yeah. I know I'm picking, but really, I thought that was cool that we didn't get bogged down in any kind of transition. It was because that's not what we're there to see. You just took us straight to it. That was neat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say take the GoPro out of the stand you've got, set it down on the track in front of you at an angle, and then just catch you riding past it. Just having a shot too where you're like right there at the ground level. I can't think of the words right now, but the way that it'll appear just looks really cool. It'll be a B-roll shot. You'll use 2 seconds of it, but it'll just be something so cool that'll really add to it. Nice perspective. And I like what Matt from RCRV just said about hold the GoPro out on a stick, upside down by your feet. That's perfect. I love that. And then I'm not sure which drone they're using or which drone Damon is using. I think he's got one of the Mavics, but I would have
Air
probably
2,
even
I
had like
believe.
just got it right in front of him and it can go backwards. Don't have to do it for long. You could literally do that for like, ride it out for 7 seconds and use 3 seconds of the footage. It'll all those little B-rolls. But you know what? Okay, I have seen a lot of one wheel B-roll shots, so this is like cheating, honestly.
So
Um,
that jitter effect that makes me nauseated. How do you do that? What's that button?
David?
I would have done it all manually. I don't know.
Is that a keyframe effect?
Sure.
I mean, that's if I
well,
was going
think about it. When we take a photo and we do that zoom, that slow zoom, I can do it fast.
right.
So
So
it's just
I
really
guess
fast zoom in and out.
If I was going to do it, I'd do it with a keyframe.
I have a guess though that I'm sure Donovan could probably find something out there real easy where you could just download it and drop it on your video and it'll do it for you. Because Donovan's good like that.
Is that true, Donovan?
I don't know. I've never looked for that because I would have done it manually. But he's by himself. Keep in mind, right? He's filming these by himself.
Yes. I mean,
so for him,
we're talking about editing now. We're talking about editing.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is, I would have done it manually, but I had Jody do it, right?
Okay.
Made the camera do this instead of doing it in post-production. Anything I can do in reality before I get to editing, I want to do it that way. It feels more, I don't know, it feels different. I don't know, it feels more realistic or something. I don't know what the deal is, but if I can avoid editing it and I can do it in real life, I'd rather do it that way.
They say that's the best way.
I don't know.
Don't depend on post to be able to figure it out. I'd have done it in post.
When David was talking about going in reverse on the drone, it would have been cool to have you flying right at the drone and have it go back. I think you need to comb your beard. You got a little tuft right there. The other thing I was thinking about when you were talking about that long segment on the track, it'd be cool is to see him coming in, show the wheel, and then for that same amount of time, blank out where he is on the track, and then have him continue on the track as if that was like a real live all at one time type thing. I think that would have been kind of a cool move too. So you're traveling down, all of a sudden you show the wheel, and then all of a sudden you're way over here and going on past. So it looked like the time frame was exactly the same amount of seconds. That might have been kind of cool too. You can do 1,000 things with this, and I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, and you got to appreciate the video because that was a lot of work. I mean, there was a lot of camera changes, drone changes, all of those things. So there's a lot that came into that video, and it's not just like a vlog.
I would say
Damon,
too.
Damon, can you tell us when you go get that app, Beetle app, like how does it work when you're trying to put in that effect? What do you do? That's neat.
vIDLIFT.
You called it vIDLIFT. Oh, that makes more sense than Beetle app.
I've never heard of vIDLIFT.
That's funny because it does have Beatle, like Beatle. Is that how the Beatles spell the band?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, would you like to wrap it up?
Hey, real quick. I haven't given him props yet. Damon, the whole reverse thing going back on to the one wheel, that was on point. That was excellent. You did that very well. So I figured
made the point of it, right? The words that he put up there.
Well,
yes.
And the text, the text. And it goes back to the analogy, if you fall off the horse, get back on it and ride it, right? I think it was awesome.
Yeah, unless you're just a horse head. So, I mean, sorry. Scott.
Nay.
Unless you're camping at some sort of settlement or something.
All right, we're running out of time.
Oh,
we're running out of time.
Oh my gosh, we got a Scott in the house.
Come on.
Carrie, stop touching the mouse.
How about let's check out RView America.
Hi friends and family, I'm Patty.
I'm Carl, and we're RView of America.
This year we went to an event called Palooza. This was held in February and it takes place on BLM land in Ehrenberg, Arizona. And for those of you that don't know what BLM land is, would you like to explain?
BLM land BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management. For campers, it's a place where you can go and camp for free, 14 days of free camping. And then every 14 days you'd have to move, I think 20 or 25 miles away from your current site, and you can camp again for another 14 days. There's also something called long-term visitor areas that are also managed by the Bureau of Land Management. And that's where we're staying. Long-term visitor areas allow you to stay for 7 months for a
Scott, you want to start us off this time?
You don't know how badly I want to start us off.
Start us.
I did y'all notice, gosh, I don't have it up right now. Did y'all notice how many views they have on this video? It's like 8 bajillion views on this video. See if I can get there. I want to see.
It's 1,302.
11.
Oh,
You need to refresh.
yeah.
And that's with 186 subscribers. What that means is this video is answering a question. People are using this video to find an answer to their question. Genius. We've talked about answering questions and how-tos and how those are ways to grow your channel and get people to come find you. Very good. And as you watch this segment, you notice it is jam-packed full of information. It's so much in there. It's one cut. They're just talking heads, but there's so much information in there that over 1,000 people, 10 times as many subscribers as they have tuned into this video to learn more. It's awesome. So any feedback I'm going to give right now doesn't take that into consideration. You're already crushing it. Here's what I would do a little differently. In your camper, it's hard to get the lighting that you're looking for. Sometimes you can open the blinds or turn on all the lights or add another light or something. But the easiest thing sometimes is just to go outside. You might not be able to use the outside because there could be extra sounds out there, or maybe your neighbors are creeping up on you or something. It could just be weird, or it's nighttime. But the lighting got to me a little bit. I would like to have seen your faces a little more clearly. So I would like to have seen some lighting. And I would also say that some B-roll, we talk about B-roll all the time. A way to break up talking heads is just put in some B-roll. And in this case, I don't know what you're editing with, but as you're talking about BLM land, you clearly know what you're talking about. So as a viewer, I'm trusting, they've gone to the Schoolie Palooza. They know about BLM land. I'm going to listen to what they're saying. But to give yourself more credibility, you can go on the interwebs and find a website where they're talking about BLM land. You take a screenshot and then over time, in place of your faces while the audio is still going, show that screenshot from the interwebs, because everybody know if it's on the interwebs, it's true. But then take just a red rectangle and show this is where we're getting our information. You're not really getting your information from there. You're getting it from your head because you've experienced it. You know it. But as a viewer, I'm going, oh, it's in print. Oh, okay. And it gives more validity to what you're saying. But any kind of B-roll, as you're talking about the places where you camp, maybe just a pan. I always use these. Show the place where you camped. Show some BLM. Show a sign that says BLM, Bureau of Land Management campground, or just anything over top of your talking, just to break it up a little bit, because the information is there and we're tuning in for the information. But we live in a society where if you go more than just a couple of seconds without breaking it up somehow, we just tune out. So break it up a little bit and keep our attention. But kudos for creating a video that is reaching so many people. That's really, really cool. I've got a couple more things, but I'd like to save those.
Really? There was more? I think you covered it all, Scott. I just got to do dead air now because you took all my talking points. it was a great video. I really thought that they have a good presence as far as speaking to the camera. I thought they did well. There wasn't a lot of ums. There was a few, but they presented themselves well. It has been brought up though, and I do think it's true. The audio was very low. I think they definitely need to bring that audio up. That would make a huge difference. And I do want to just point out too, it's on this video. It wasn't in that clip. I have always wanted to know why no one has bought an old city bus, not school bus, but a city bus, the big cool looking things, and turned them in an RV. And y'all had an image of one that was at the Schoolie Palooza. That just got me all excited. So anyway, kind of off the subject, but I thought it was cool. I do think you guys had like a montage of everything. I would have taken a lot of that montage from the end and then peppered all those images through all of your talking head points. I think it would have helped anybody that was losing interest to stay focused in. How about you, Mr. Donovan?
Well, thank you, Mr. Dave. Carl and Patty, congratulations. I wish I could get success in one video as well as you did. That's just amazing. So congrats on that. I met them in Mayberry, and they were really fun. I got to spend a little time with them. So lighting, Scott mentioned this. If you have only one light, go for the 45-degree angle. It's going to give you a little shadow on one side, but it's still going to give you not killing your glasses, not shining off your bald head or your foreheads or your nose. It'll just take some of that off, or you look right at it. So that's what I'm trying to say. The other thing is, Scott mentioned opening the blinds. If you can do this during the daylight, opening your blind and face that and have natural lighting, that's a great light. You don't even have to worry about angles then. Usually that works perfect, unless the sun happens to be directly in it. And then, of course, you're going to have back to 45. Sound volume, yeah. I don't know if you could get a microphone closer or how that was, but I felt like you probably had okay volume, but it just wasn't close enough. The microphone wasn't closer to you. And if you don't have that ability, you just have to recognize once you've done a test run, like when I get ready to do something, I'd make a couple noises and clap and a sound, and then I go back and I watch that right away. How is my sound naturally? Yes, my big clap. Yes, very funny. David's making fun of the fact that when I get ready to start something, in case the audio and the video get offset, I clap over the big long pieces, and then I can just match those two up, and I can see the clap and the spike, and then it's all back perfect. So thanks, David, for making fun of it. And so anyway, if you check that, then you may just have to speak louder if that happens to be the case. Now, you don't want to scream at it like Scott does in half of his videos, but that's just roller coasters. He's kind of like that. You know how he is with the shaking and the motion. And then the other thing I wanted to say is I love the presence also. You guys smile. You look like you're happy to do the video. Do you know how many people don't do that? So I just wanted you to know you're doing a great job. And I would have loved the B-roll in between while you were talking. That would have been great. Speaking of smiling.
Always smiling. Frowns takes too many muscles to frown. 1,300 views. That's awesome. That's a very good video. What makes that a very good video is a very good subject that's searchable. And sometimes we do things and we make videos about things that aren't so much searchable, but it's what we do. But the Schoolie Palooza is a big thing. Anytime you do a video about that, it's going to be a big draw. I'd be interested about the retention rate on the video. A lot of good information. At the very beginning, there was about 7 seconds of the thumbnail. I think I would probably do away with that and just start right off with a hook and talk through the video. but I thought it was good. I like the others. I agree that probably some of that great B-roll that you had at the end of the video, if you'd have threw a few clips in there while you're talking and just show those clips while you're narrating or talking about all the good information that you shared, would help break that up a little bit. But otherwise, I thought it was a very good video, very informative. Anything else? We're going to watch it again. All right. I got the signal. I guess we're going to go ahead and watch this thing again.
Hi, friends and family. I'm Patty.
I'm Carl, and we're RView of America.
This year, we went to an event called Palooza. This was held in February, and it takes place on BLM land in Ehrenberg, Arizona. And for those of you that don't know what BLM land is, would you like to explain?
BLM land BLM stands for Bureau of Land Management. For campers, it's a place where you can go and camp for free. 14 days of free camping, and then every 14 days you'd have to move, I think, 20 or 25 miles away from your current site, and you can camp again for another 14 days. There's also something called long-term visitor areas that are also managed by the Bureau of Land Management, and that's where we're staying. Long-term visitor areas allow you to stay for 7 months for a
I was just curious, since the volume is low, and I noticed that later on the music volume is low too. I'm thinking that maybe your mic was probably good enough and y'all have just lowered the volume on your video across the board. Is that possible? Just curious if y'all want to let us know in the chat.
They did get a new microphone. I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I could hear like a humming echo, just like I hear right now from Steve Turtle's air conditioner.
Wait, my air's not on.
Oh, maybe it's Donovan's fan. I don't know.
It's not me. I plead the fifth.
I feel like I could hear that though in their video, but the whole thing was low, and maybe they were like thinking they could manipulate that, or and some people just don't like it when the videos are too loud. But I do kind of wish that YouTube would help us all kind of normalize everyone's levels, so we don't go from one really loud to one really quiet to one really loud, because that last really loud one is the one that hurts the most.
And because movies that do that when you're trying to watch it is really annoying, when the crashes are super loud and then all of a sudden they go to the vocals and then you can I got to turn it up so I can hear what they're saying. I can't stand movies that do that. And those are $1 million movies. We're better than that.
Before we get too far along, Carl and Patty, I don't think we have acknowledged the fact that a couple of weeks ago, the McGuires were driving down the interstate and we saw you guys and we honked like crazy and we were waving. I want to make sure that you realize that was us and we were waving, and that was a friendly honk. You can't tell on the interstate whether it's a friendly honk or a get out of the way honk. I wanted to make sure that I tell you, we were just so excited to see you. We're like, look, there they are. But, it could have been like, get out of the way. So I just want to make sure that the message got through correctly. We were so excited to see you on the interstate.
Scott, you're creeping around your neighbors' yards in the dark. You're screaming and yelling at people on the highway. What is this, a pattern behavior? Do we need to spend some time with this?
I'm in a 12-step program. I'm
Okay.
on step 4.
Okay. All right. Well, let's speed it up there. You need to get to like 10 or 11.
Yes, sir. Oh, we did see you, so they acknowledged seeing me. They're not talking about what they took from that experience, but they did acknowledge seeing me. Okay. I wanted to say that another thing that could have broken up that long talking segment is just to change the angles. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to move your camera and fool with all that. It could be that you just, in your editing, I'm not sure what you edit with, but you've got your big, like this much. You could just zoom in about this much and then move over to one face and then move over to the other face. And then now it looks like it's just breaking it up a little bit more. We see both of you. We see Carl. We see both of you. We see Patty. And then that way it just is one more thing to break up the long talking segment, because I'll say again, you've got so many It's so much great information. You don't need to worry about that. Y'all are great at delivering the information. Just something to break it up a little bit. Just little tricks in the editing.
If you go, go ahead, David. Go ahead, David.
I wanted to bring up something that a lot of people that don't spend a lot of time into the camera details, and people say, why would I get a 4K camera? Because I don't really see the difference. Well, what Scott just talked about zooming into the individual faces, that's the kind of stuff where a 4K camera is actually very handy. Even if your end product is only a 1080p video, when you film it in 4K, you've got that ability where you can zoom in on their faces and it still looks crystal clear. That is one of the benefits of having, in so many cameras are 4K these days. It doesn't have to be an expensive camera to accomplish that. It just, that sort of thing helps. If you're starting with a lower end camera and you punch in to their individual faces, it's going to get blurry and start looking degraded. So
yeah, I think we still film on like an iPhone 3, and it's we can zoom in about this far, but then we can't. If we go any farther, you can't tell what it is. It's just like being almost arrested. We can go in about this far.
I think that Steve Jobs deactivated all the iPhone 3s before he passed away. So
maybe that's part of my problem.
Nice try, buddy.
iPhone, that's enough zoom for you anyway, Scott.
So Scott,
yes, sir.
If you're gonna break that up, that talking heads with B-roll, how often? What do you think?
I try not, in my videos, I try not to go past 5 seconds of any one thing without changing something, whether I add some music or zoom in or change an angle or put in some B-roll. Maybe, 5 seconds is about my max. I try to change things 3 to 4 to 5 seconds, but my videos are very different than what Carl and Patty are doing. My videos are action. We're always doing something, and it's little kids running around and being cute. If I were just sitting delivering information, I think you can go longer.
Right. I think I read something recently that said 4 to 6 seconds. But
it's fun.
But rules are meant to be broken. There's exceptions for everything.
And depending on what I'm filming and what I'm talking about, sometimes I don't even worry about the 4 to 6 seconds or 5 seconds. I do at the end of a sentence. Sometimes I'll bleed a sentence into the next, and when I start talking, then I'm showing something and I'm still talking on that one. But when I'm doing like the little pop in and pop out, I usually do them like at the end of a sentence. So it's like it almost makes an impact. So if I'm about to say something strong, I make sure the pop in where it comes closer to my face is the ones I use on. This is the point I'm trying to drive to. And sometimes that has you can use that as an impact in what you're saying and draw attention to it.
What do you mean bleed in?
Like L and J cuts. So like I'll be showing me, and then I let the audio keep going while I show another thing, and I'm still talking during the second frame of stuff. Or I'm talking with scene from above, and then I'm still continuing the sentence when it comes back on me or on another scene.
It's very effective.
Oh, it's a cool thing to watch. I mean, most great movies are using those constantly.
Yes. It's I think it's an awesome technique.
I think we talked about this last week, so we can direct people to last week's live stream. But when y'all talk about bumping up the audio, what's the short answer? How do you bump up the audio?
I knock it up 6 decimal points, 6 decibels.
I use keyframes. And I think we talked about keyframes.
That's the favorite new key phrase around here is keyframes.
Keyframes.
I still don't even know what that is. I just know what it is.
Synergy.
Well,
so
wait.
On the editing I use, I just grab the little line that's right in the middle of the audio, and I raise it up until I see the little yellow things start to show, and I bring it down just enough so I just have a few little yellow things. That's like a certain level of where it's like the loudest. And when I just have a couple of those, that's usually where I set it. unless I have a section that's really low. Then I make a cut in the audio and I raise that whole thing up to where it's about the same volume as the rest of it. So it's just a little line I move up and down.
If you guys are curious to see what it looks like when Donovan does that, last week's VidLift show, you can go in and watch it and fast forward to, you'll see where the screen turns into Donovan's computer screen. It's a really good, like 2-minute explanation of how to do that. It was really well done. So go steal that information from last week's show.
And try to figure out how many socks it's legal to drive with.
Oh, one sock. Was it
Don't
one
ruin
sock?
it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Don't ruin it.
Hey, Steve
Well-
Turtle, when you go fishing, do you just throw all the bait in the water, or do you put a little on the hook and put it in the water?
Well, that's
He
called
chums
chumming.
for those little minnows.
That's called chumming. Yeah, that's called
He
chumming.
chums for the minnows, not with the minnows, but for the minnows.
Oh my goodness. I would like to say, since everybody's acting up, Scott has our next VidLift, and that'll be Tuesday next week, and right here on the VidLift channel. And if you haven't subscribed, you should go ahead and click that subscribe button, because you don't want to miss one.
And I'm not quite as good as these guys when it comes to hosting a show. So
No.
it would really help me out if you guys would share a video with us. Just send a link to some video you've got and give us permission to check it out. And I would really appreciate that. It would help me
Yeah,
out a
he
bunch.
needs all the help he can get,
Scott-
everybody. Just
Yes,
he's terrible.
Scott is modest, and he's not telling the truth. If anybody could host a show, well, that would be Scott. And then, of course, probably David, maybe Donovan, and then I'll be last.
Stop being nice to him. He knows.
Hey, he had a monetization party last night.
It was 6 months late, but whatever.
Yeah.
The creeper
Yeah.
in the neighbor's yards in the middle of the night.
Do we need to wrap up anything on the last video, or we pretty much covered all that?
That was some good advice there by Matt, I think.
Yeah, hold on a second. There was something else, Matt. Matt was talking about B-roll earlier. B-roll.
Yeah, he did say that.
And yeah. And to be honest, how much B-roll is too much?
If you're talking
Sure.
and you're telling a story,
No, when you're shooting video, how much B-roll is too much?
Keep shooting.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yeah. The more video that you get, when you get back to post and you're starting to edit, it's great when you find those lulls, and you can plug some B-roll in there.
does everybody have a camera or a phone?
Hold on, I got one. Hold on, here we go.
I look good.
Sorry.
We were posing for our Christmas card, everybody.
That's
So-
right.
Since this is a very exciting topic, I did shoot a little video, and I wanted to talk about how I edit with keyframes.
Sweet.
It's a short video. I'm going to try to talk over it. I'll stop it a couple times, and you guys let me know how it's different from yours, or how it's the same as yours. But I wanted to share that because last week I think we talked about keyframes, and I felt like some people were like, what's that? Now I use Hit Film Express. It's a free download, and to be honest, I cuss it a lot. It's a pain in the butt, but it's free.
True story.
Yeah,
Had to
true
witness it
story.
today.
Yeah,
You just
it's
the
free.
pre-show. We can't put a muzzle on him. I'm just
But
saying.
every time that they tell me that they have a new fix for all the bugs, they're not fixes. They're more bugs.
Careful, Steve.
Anyway, I don't want them to. Yeah, I don't want them to. Anyway, I'm going to play this video, and I'll try to share the best I can and show you sort of what I do. All right, hush, stop.
Years now too.
Oh God.
So, what I do is,
I'm in there
right there
as VidLift, trying to get people to come to our show.
Oh,
I
you know
see.
what?
Thank
Hold
you.
on a minute.
Scott, I have to apologize. The guys told me that was too scary. I thought it was hilarious, but I guess it wasn't.
Okay, so when I recorded this, the pre-show was going on.
Wait, Steve, stop. Go back. Wait, Steve, hang on. Go back to the show before and learn how you can turn the volume off.
All right, I'm upset now. All right,
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. No cussing at the screen now.
I can't even stop it. Okay, so okay,
share it without volume. Steve.
I can't share it without volume. Hold on. Here we go. I can do this.
Chrome tab. Don't uncheck the box.
Yeah, I'm on. Hold on. Don't leave.
Professional. Oh God.
He goes, here's round 2. Oh God.
I'm in there as vIDLIFT trying to get people to come to our show.
Oh, I see. Thank you. Scott, I have to apologize.
Hold on.
The guys told me that was too scary.
Stop it.
I thought it was hilarious, but I guess it wasn't.
Your video?
Oh shoot.
I haven't looked at it yet.
Today is Saturday, and it is Pioneer Day here at
Is it
the
something I won't be able to
Pioneer
use?
Settlement
I don't
down in the
know.
Panhandle of
I mean,
Florida.
If we could
I
get
have
through
been
Marshall's
assigned
dope
the duties
video,
of staying in
get
the
through whatever you got.
axe room today. That is a room full of
That's
axes,
weird.
hammers,
Hey, Marshall's
saws, and all types of
I don't know.
Mercy.
I mean, I may
tools that
have
were
to like put some Benny Hill
during the
music
Pioneer
in the
days.
background.
You
or
better
something to
stop
light
this
the
built
before you
fuse
start
up.
cussing.
similar to
Yeah,
These guys
before
thought it was a little heavy.
somebody tells on somebody.
grounds, and it's going to be pretty
There was
exciting.
a piece of music written
Come
for
in
middle
and they
school
can
band.
Okay. Here's what I would like to say.
Okay, tell us, please.
In hit film, we have keyframes. What I did with this particular video is I started off at 100%, and at the end of the video, it was greater than 100%. I think it was 135. But as the video goes, it zooms in. With keyframes, you can do that with your with your volume, with your video, with where the video is. So anywhere as you go along, you can adjust the keyframes to adjust the volume, the video, and all that good stuff. And that didn't work out the way I wanted it to at all. Now I got to figure out where stop sharing is. There we go.
I got it for you.
Yeah, bless your heart. That was a mess. What time is it? I did not realize. I did that when you guys were talking. I did not realize that it recorded you.
You don't say.
No kidding. I'm glad you guys are having a good time. I hope everybody else is.
Don't cry, Steve. We love you.
Hold on. I'm going to check out. The good thing is that you guys can handle it.
This is professionalism at its best. I love it.
Yeah. 4 guys talking about video creation. You can't create a video.
Hey, nobody learns anything if they perfect from the get-go.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes, and that's how you get better.
I will shoot a video and I will put it on our channel.
Is that why I'm the only one not monetized in this group? I haven't learned how to shoot a video very well.
No, you'll be there soon.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, we got 7 minutes and I just ran out of gas.
Scott looks like he's getting tired there too.
Yeah, well, he had a long last night and a long day today.
Yeah, Sophie's soccer team started the playoffs tonight. I thought they were first seed because they're freaking amazing, but they went in tonight and Carrie told me they were not first seed, and the other team scored first, and then it got tied up at 2-2. Don't worry, Sophie's team won 5-2, so we're still excited in our house.
I actually didn't bring a topic because I didn't host.
Oh, that was my fault because I was all about keyframes. So tell me, have you ever seen anything like that except for the whole everybody talking over my video. Do you do anything like that with your editing software?
Are we talking about volume adjusting and the keyframes kind of thing?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I'll probably go ahead and make a video as well for Adobe. There's several different ways to do it. You can chop it up and then adjust them there. But I've got an audio tab where I can go in there and I can actually drag the volume up at different points. And then you can actually see the lines adjust dynamically and stuff like that throughout it. It's a bit of work. I tend to use it a lot whenever I have like a conversation with one of my daughters in the videos, because they'll be so soft you can't hardly hear them. So I'll go in there and I'll tank mine and then raise theirs up as high as possible. The downside is the ambient noise that comes with it winds up changing too. So that's kind of a bummer. But yeah, I do that from time to time.
That's a great point that you just mentioned, is you brought yours down as you brought theirs up. I think a lot of people think, how do I get it to the loudest? That's a great, I didn't even think of that. That's a good one, Dave. I loved it.
Well, I'm not able to do that. And I had recently I had shot a video. It had a lot of wind noise. I don't know how to get the wind noise out and keep the volume up there. You know what I mean?
Dead cat.
Well, you know what? That's funny, because I not only have a dead cat, but I got another cat that I put on top of the dead cat, and it still doesn't work.
Yeah,
what I need, David, is you to tell me what your dead cat is.
It's a tabby. I just haven't buried it yet.
Okay. All right.
Please, Scott, save us.
Donovan told us a couple of weeks ago about Audacity. And sometimes you find yourself in that situation where you've done all the things you could when you film, but you've got to do something in post and editing to try to get rid of some of that wind noise. And so you can take it and, within your editor, like I use iMovie, I can click a button and say reduce background noise. But even with that, I couldn't get rid of the wind noise in a particular video. You can go into Audacity and do some of the same stuff. But on that particular video, I actually have all this footage. We couldn't use it. We were on the water. We were filming about a boat, and we couldn't put out that video. And it was really neat information, but we just had to, no matter what we tried, sometimes you just lose it. Sometimes you're just not able to do it.
But you can voice over.
Well,
we could have, but there was a lot of information in this one.
Yeah, I shot video of the Cowboys. They were, doing their shootout and all that, but it was so windy. I only found certain portions that I could use. And then, I tried putting music underneath and some other things, but I don't have a way in my editing software to take out like parts of the volume and get that wind noise out.
Steve, show us your microphone again, please.
Yeah, I bought a Rhodes microphone. Okay, hold on. Like that. And it came, I bought a Rode dead cat, and it's terrible. I can't get the wind noise out of it. I bought an additional dead cat and tried it over top of the other dead cat. Still no problem. I can't get the wind out of it.
But you were trying to capture the Cowboys that were in a show that were a distance from you. Yeah. That's probably why. You're probably going to have either something closer to them, or you're going to have a more expensive microphone. I think that. Yeah. So I would, in the same circumstances, how do you sound with that microphone about right here? You probably would sound a lot better, because that microphone's meant to pick you up at a closer range.
I do, but just recently, I videoed myself, and with the microphone right in front of my face, a slight breeze causes wind noise, and I'm really frustrated with the microphone. Yeah, I know. Is that the mute?
I could take this, it has a tiny little dead cat, and I could go set it somewhere closer to whatever I want to film, like the audio, try to hide it by the Cowboys, and then I can go back to my camera, and you'll be shocked at how this thing is awesome.
Yeah.
It was $200, but it has been worth it. So
well, I was telling my wife I probably spent $200 in dead cats. Hey, look, it's 9 o'clock. I got to get us out of here. Great show tonight. I appreciate everybody coming by. Appreciate everybody's comments in the live stream. It's awesome. Your comments help the show. And go ahead and get your submissions over there. Send us your videos. Tell us what 1 minute clip you want us to watch. And I'm going to do this. Where's it at? There it is.